Marvel Zombies is coming to Disney Plus next week, and I've got everything you need to know before hitting play. What's going on, Marvelites? I'm Joe. Let's get into it. The Marvel Zombie story actually starts with What If Season 1, Episode 5, simply titled What If Zombies, which was released back in 2021. This story gave us an alternate version of the Infinity War opening. So with Bruce Banner coming back from space to warn Earth about Thanos, he lands on an Earth where there's a full-blown zombie outbreak. Now, this zombie outbreak started when Hank Pym traveled into the quantum realm to rescue Janet Van Dyne. But Janet had already been infected with what was called a quantum virus that was taking over her brain. Janet Van Dyne eventually infected Hank, and they made their way back out of the quantum realm, and from there, the virus spread like wildfire, even taking down the Avengers themselves. Now, Bruce ends up getting saved by Hope Van Dyne and joins some of our surviving heroes, including Spider-Man, Bucky, Okoye, Sharon Carter, Happy Hogan, Kurt from Ant-Man, and the Cloak of Levitation. This team determines there is a possibility for a cure at Camp Lehigh, but on their way through various zombie hordes, the team just gets picked apart one by one. Sharon and Happy get infected and have to be put down, and then Hope sacrifices herself so that the rest of the team can get into Camp Lehigh. Once our survivors are at Camp Lehigh, they run into Vision, and they learn that he has been experimenting with a cure using the Mind Stone, one that was actually able to cure Scott Lang from being zombified earlier in the episode. Well, at least just his head. But in a dark twist, we learn that Vision has kept other survivors alive, namely T'Challa, and has been using pieces of him to feed his zombie girlfriend, the Scarlet Witch. Just as a quick aside, this is directly taken out of the first Marvel Zombie story written by Robert Kirkman in 2005 to 2006, which this series will be very loosely based on. In that story, Hank Pym was using pieces of T'Challa to feed himself while he kept that secret from the rest of his zombie friends. Back in the What If episode, T'Challa then tells our friends what's actually happening, and the Scarlet Witch ends up breaking free. The Scarlet Witch then ends up killing Okoye, Bucky, and Kurt. So to atone for what he's done, Vision rips the Mind Stone out of his head and gives it to Bruce Banner, who then sacrifices himself so that Spider-Man, T'Challa, Ant-Man, and the Cloak of Levitation can leave in the Quadjet with the Mind Stone. Our remaining survivors head to Wakanda knowing it should be a safe haven from all of the zombies, but that's where another twist comes in. When they arrive at Wakanda, we see that Wakanda has already been taken over by zombies, all in thanks to Zombie Thanos, who has a nearly filled Infinity Gauntlet, and our heroes are delivering the last stone right to him. Now, that's where that specific episode ends, but we do see zombie hordes in later episodes of What If. Later in Season 1, Episode 9, we see a zombie horde brought on by Doctor Strange to stop Ultron, and then we also see another zombie horde controlled by the Scarlet Witch in What If Season 2, Episode 9, where we see Peggy Carter and Kahori jumping through universes, and they encounter the horde and fight them off for a while until Hela shows up and puts them all down. That's what we know from previous seasons of What If, but now that we've gotten some trailers for this specific Marvel Zombie series, we know that we're still seeing our heroes where Episode 5 left off, with Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Scott Lang's head, and zombie heavy hitters like Scarlet Witch and Thanos, but most of the spotlight goes to a new cast. That lineup includes Yelena Belova, Miss Marvel, Red Guardian, Shang-Chi along with his friend Katie, Jimmy Woo, and Blade, who appears to be the avatar for Khonshu. And not only that, according to the credits, we're also going to see appearances from US Agent, Kate Bishop, and Ironheart. And from some of the trailers, we're going to be getting some lesser known MCU characters like a zombified Icarus and a zombified Hercules, as well as a zombified Abomination. In fact, a good friend of mine, Bobby, put an entire list together of who is alive, who isn't, and who we have yet to see that he shared in the Earth's Mightiest Nerds Discord. If you want to check that list out, maybe talk about some other nerdy things, including the MCU, and there's even a monthly comic book club, it's completely free to join. All you need to do is join the Earth's Mightiest Nerds newsletter. So whether you're here for comic callbacks, what if follow-ups, or just the sheer chaos of zombie superheroes, this 4-episode series looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Are you going to be watching Marvel Zombies as soon as it drops? And which of our heroes is going to survive the longest? Let me know down below in the comments. If you want more videos like this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And until the next video, Excelsior.